platform that's designed to be used in large-scale data centers. It uses what Microsoft calls a zero-footprint model, whereby only the operating system components, including roles and features that we've chosen to install, are actually installed on the machine and are running. So as a result, it's got a very thin profile, and therefore it can run more concurrent IT workloads than it otherwise would be able to. NanoServer is designed to run only a few roles, such as the File and Storage Services role, as well as the Hyper-V role, and things like the failover clustering feature. But more roles will potentially be added before the product is finalized and released. Some usage scenarios for Windows NanoServer include as an application container server that runs custom .NET applications. Application containerization allows isolation between different application containers running on the same host. This way, a single misbehaving or even compromised application in a container won't negatively impact other application containers or the host operating system. The same type of thing is true when we talk about Hyper-V container isolation. We can also use the NanoServer for a scale-out file server. The scale-out file server, or SOFS cluster role, allows shared storage to be used by cluster nodes simultaneously. We also have the option of entering a Hyper-V host running on Nano in a number of ways. We could use PowerShell remoting, so we could enter a remote PowerShell session over the network to our Nano Hyper-V host using the -computer name parameter. We could also use PowerShell Direct if we are on the Hyper-V host to enter a PowerShell session with a virtual machine that might be having network connectivity problems. So take note that we don't use PowerShell Direct to connect to the Hyper-V host over the network. We use PowerShell Direct when we're already at the Hyper-V host to enter a session into a virtual machine. Of course, we can also use graphical tools like the Hyper-V Manager or System Center Virtual Machine Manager to remotely manage a Nano Hyper-V host. The clustering feature with NanoServer allows for quick cluster creation. This can be done using the Failover Cluster Manager GUI remotely or by using the new-cluster PowerShell commandlet. This will in turn enable a scale-out file server role. This allows for file storage for applications and virtual machine files that are accessible by all cluster nodes simultaneously. Windows NanoServer runs Core CLR. CLR is Common Language Runtime. It also uses .NET Core, although these names may change before the product is finalized and released. So instead, we aren't running the full .NET framework. We're only running a subset of .NET. And that's one of the reasons why Windows NanoServer is so lightweight and small. There's no need to have all the APIs that would relate to the client stack, things that deal with the desktop GUI and so on. ASP.NET 5 will also be supported with Windows NanoServer. ASP.NET 5 is open source, and it's designed to run on many platforms, including Windows, Mac, and Linux. Its primary purpose is for developers that are building cloud applications. In this video, we discussed NanoServer roles.